What is up, ladies and gentlemen? एक बार फिर से आपका स्वागत है हमारे एक और नए एपिसोड में। एंड व्हाट डू वी हैव दिस वीक? वेल, पीजीएल एंटवर्प चल रहा है और इस टूर्नामेंट का हॉट टॉपिक है प्लेयर स्टिकर्स। तो आज हम देखेंगे व्हिच वंस आर कूल एंड व्हिच वंस आर जस्ट मैं। फिर आगे बढ़ेंगे एंड वील टेक अ ट्रिप डाउन द मेमोरी लेन ऑल द वे बैक टू ईएसएल प्रो लीग सीजन 3, जहां शॉक्स के एक अमेजिंग क्लच ने लुमिनोसिटी की पॉपुलैरिटी को खतरे में डाल दिया था। फिर कॉल ऑफ ड्यूटी मोबाइल इंडिया चैलेंज भी अनाउंस हो चुका है, तो हम इस टूर्नामेंट के फॉर्मेट पर भी नजर डालेंगे। एंड लाइक ऑलवेज वी हैव अ स्पेशल इंटरव्यू लाइंड अप फॉर यू गाइस। सो विदाउट वेस्टिंग एनी फर्दर टाइम, दिस इज सुपर जॉनी एंड यू गाइस आर वाचिंग द वर्ल्ड ऑफ esports. CSGO Player Stickers एक रेज बन के उभरे and people are just going crazy for them. And क्योंकि PGL Antwerp भी चल रहा है, we just thought why not just raid these stickers. So here we go.
Player stickers are, in many ways, totally subjective. What looks cool to you might look a bit silly to everyone else, and vice versa. But frankly, we're sick of that, so without any further ado, we'd like to show you the only correct ranking for player stickers for this year's major. Quick side note, this is obviously in no way a reflection of how good the player is, it's merely a bit of fun. What are you, the fun police? Let's start with the bottom tier. Sorry to Elige, Hats, Int, Jax, Jame, Max, Cabal, Norvi, Nitro, Brokey, Plopsky, Kika, Rain, Refresh, Regon, Rops, Safe, Senna1, Snappy, Techno 4K and Xfloud. Most of these are a bit too plain, or we're a bit annoyed at Hats for not having something cool on there. You're called Hats, bro. James is too hard to read, while Xfloud is basically indecipherable. Nitro and Plopsky suffer from a similar problem to James. If you like these stickers, then sorry to tell you this, but you're completely wrong. And if you like the player and you still want the sticker, then we do understand. The C tier is a little bit more congested. This was essentially the tier for average ones, and as such we won't go through every single one, just the controversial ones. We almost moved Chopper to D tier for being in a language that us uneducated monolinguists can't understand. But it does look kinda cool. There's a few Bad News Eagles players in there, which we do feel bad about, but it's more about their stickers existing than them being great that matters. Tabson, Tizian and Favon could be higher for putting in the effort of having them match, but it's quite clear that one of their teammates does have a much cooler sticker. If we don't mention any other sticker, it's probably in this tier, so we're not going to go through all of them, we'd be here all day. Now, onto the decent tier. Alexi B's addition of Bob to the end of the name tips him into this tier, along with Bit's cool stylization. Blitz is such a cool name on its own that he had to be here, while 3 Eternal Fire members make it in, largely because the team logo is so cool that it makes it look so much more dope. Floppy's made us smile, but we are already sick of floppy dick jokes, while Kenzie and Zorti have matching stickers that go a bit harder than Big's ones. Hobbit, Nafany and Axar clearly put some effort into theirs. Or indeed, their designer put some effort into it. Patsy's looks like it might have been done by a similar designer. Yuri and Yekindar both have some cool Ys going on, and Zipex makes sure you know what he's famous for with the XVX thing that he's got going on. Neat. Other members of this group are Apex, Buster, Cadian, DGT, Etatag, Keisarato, Misuta, feels like he's shouting and that's pretty hype. Fallen, good vibes. Rez, Perfecto, peace sign, very cool. Rox, Sicko Mode, Synopsy, Score, full name, very chic. Spinks, Searson and Zaiwu. Onto the big leagues. A tier begins with this double love heart from the ever lovable Boomich. What a cutie. Cello enters the fray with a sticker that looks like it's made out of unknowns from the Gen 2 Pokemon games. It's a bit of a soft spot for us. David gives us the $sign at the end that reminds us of Ramzik Boss, and Dexter's looks like an announcement postman for the Download Festival. Drops and Electronics both allude to their names in non-cringe ways, and Fang has a nice little Canada leaf to remind us that he is not American. Farley drew an AWP in the L, very stylish. Monacy has a cool lightning bolt, and Jabbies has a rocket. Whee! Jerry's is baffling, but it looks wicked. And Madden has a crown, that's some king shit. Nines just makes us feel warm inside, and Siren put a whole lot of effort into that little tree thing. Finally, Art just misses out on the S tier with the paw in place of the A. Who doesn't love animals? Don't worry, we're almost done, just 5 left. There might be a theme with these ones. Naf has a cute sloth atop his name, just hanging there. I mean, look at the little guy, don't you just want to hug him? Woody's illustration is one of the highest effort ones going. Top marks for that, I mean just look at it, it's brilliant. Hades' hat is clean, simple, and frankly delightful. Incredible that Hats didn't think to add this, but Hades did. The top 2 are Liaz with his adorable kitten resting on top of the valves, and Vinny. Liaz's cat is genuinely super cute, very pettable, while Vinny takes top spot with a massively drawn shark. Apparently this comes down to his old nickname, which was Sausage Shark, because of how close he used to sit to his monitor while playing the game, which is just adorable. It's a bit dorky, it's goofy, you know, it just fills us with like a gooey warmth inside. We might have to make an AWP paw with a couple of these S tier stickers. Do you agree with our ranking? If not, feel free to be wrong in the comments below, but if yes, welcome Enlightened Soul. Fancy dropping a subscribe?
अर्ली 2016 CSGO की दुनिया में एक ऐसा एरा था जिसको लोग लुमिनोसिटी एरा कहते थे। अब उसी समय G2 में आए शॉक्स ने एक ऐसा क्लच निकाला जिसने लुमिनोसिटी के इस डोमिनेशन पर ब्रेक लगा दिया। Ladies and gentlemen, this is a moment from the ESL Pro League Season 3.
Luminosity now, they're just 1 round away.
What a dominating half for Luminosity though. Just that wasn't even, G2 didn't even get close to a bomb site there.
Nightmare fuel for G2.
And so now, well, what are you going to do, G2? You need another perfect half.
Molotovs, and you can see them getting in position now. Scream, setting it up. The flash is actually going to flash his way right through, right into a Molotov. Doesn't matter, he holds down mouse 1, but Taco finds him nonetheless. And FNX pick up a kill as well. Straight into CT. Oh, FNX shows no fear. And now it's down to Shoxy and RPK in a near impossible retake.
Look at how low Taco and FNX are, but they are in a 2-on-4. That bomb plant just going to go through with 7 seconds left, and RPK goes down to cold zero. It's all on Shox. He picks up one and nades Luminosity.
Well, this matchup was really cool for G2, especially coming into it, because you're going head-to-head with the Luminosity team at a time when this is in the midst of what we refer, looking back, as the Luminosity era, the Brazilian era of Counter-Strike. Cold Zero and Fallen were 2 of the best players in the world, top 5 players in the world, and they were a very scary team overall. I think they were one of the first lineups in Counter-Strike that we looked to and said the real danger of them is that they are a complete team and unit in terms of their roles. A lot of pressure on both these squads, I think, to really kind of cement themselves. Luminosity was trying to really show that they were going to continue to be the dominant team throughout the year after some of their early successes in the year. Also at this time with G2, there were big question marks about this squad coming into it. Despite the fact that they'd been playing so well leading into this event, there were still like a few iffy things, and the only real positivity that people could rely on with this team was how good Shox and Scream had been playing as a pairing. The 2 of them actually end up the finals with 121 kills apiece. The next closest on their team was like 82 or 83. They were in hard carry mode in these finals for the squad. That was probably their only win condition, was some kind of incredible Herculean efforts out of those 2 players, because like we said, that's a complete team on the other side of the server in Luminosity. And G2 just simply put, just didn't have the ability going deep into that roster of being able to match LG on a team scale, and also being able to match skill individually down the roster. So this series, and certainly this round, helped kind of, you know, put all of Shox's various skill sets that he's built up over years, it put it all on display on one of the biggest stages that we've had. So it was incredible to watch. A clutch like this in a 1 versus 4 essentially, or 2 versus 4, you have to have a mistake coming out from Luminosity. Every clutch that's ever happened in Counter-Strike has also relied on mistakes from your opposition, and you're gonna see it here. Luminosity plays this really, really scared. The bomb site at this point has been entirely lost. LG has swarmed it over. It's a 4-on-2 in the favor of Luminosity, and this is almost a hopeless situation. There's no utility for RPK and Shox. They have to move in, and Shox is going to try and play around his teammate, but they have no idea where Luminosity is situated. So Shox is going to move to the left and clear Banana, and he's hoping RPK is going to be able to handle the bomb site. This is a big-time kill on Fallen, who's moving up, and now when Shox comes into this bomb site after RPK goes down, he's looking for the final 3 players after the kill on Fallen. You're going to see him do something very, very cool. One of the ways you can kind of spring a trap before they're ready to actually fight is make the sound cues feel like you're progressing deeper into the bomb site. And Shox does just this. Instead of pressing forward, you can see he moves to the side. So Luminosity's hearing these footsteps, thinking he's pressing up, thinking he's going to walk right into their crossfire, and it forces Taco into a play a little bit earlier than coldzera wanted, and he's able to find both of those fights one-on-one when he has 3 opponents, and that is a huge big-time clutch from an experienced player.
So much damage. BK pushing into the back and he goes down to coldzera. It's all on Shox. He picks up one and nades Luminosity in overtime. He's looking for the shot. Shox gonna pick up one more. Triple for him. Oh, he gets the quad kill. Are you kidding me, Shoxy? He gets every single one and keeps the dream alive. One of the maddest retakes I have ever seen.
Luminosity play this so passive, no one peeking, no one going for anything.
Call of Duty Mobile India Challenge is back, and this time with a bigger and badder challenge for both Battle Royale and multiplayer. Prize pool 60 lakh rupees का और साथ ही साथ 3.7 lakh CP भी for the top performing teams. But चलिए अभी फिलहाल नजर डालते हैं इस टूर्नामेंट के फॉर्मेट पर.
हेलो एवरीवन, वेलकम टू कॉल ऑफ ड्यूटी मोबाइल इंडिया चैलेंज 2022। इंडिया की CODM कम्युनिटी को एक बार फिर से मौका मिल रहा है एक बहुत ही बेहतरीन टूर्नामेंट का हिस्सा बनने का। लेट्स क्विकली टेक अ लुक एट व्हाट द टूर्नामेंट स्ट्रक्चर लुक लाइक। टूर्नामेंट को 2 पार्ट में डिवाइड किया गया है, विच इज मल्टीप्लेयर मोड एंड बैटल रॉयल मोड। द टोटल प्राइस फॉर द टूर्नामेंट विल बी 60 लाख रुपीज। 15 लाख रुपए दिए जाएंगे बैटल रॉयल मोड को, 15 लाख रुपए दिए जाएंगे मल्टीप्लेयर मोड को, और ऐसे 2 सीजन होंगे। आइए एक नजर डालते हैं दोनों टूर्नामेंट के इंडिविजुअल फॉर्मेट पर। बात करते हैं बैटल रॉयल टूर्नामेंट की, तो इसमें 2 क्वालिफायर खेले जाएंगे और हर क्वालिफायर में 256 टीम रजिस्टर कर सकती है। दोनों क्वालिफायर में सिंगल एलिमिनेशन मैचेस होंगे। हर क्वालिफायर में से 16 टीम्स आगे बढ़ेंगी जो खेलेंगे क्वालिफायर फाइनल्स, जो कि रहने वाले हैं बेस्ट ऑफ 5। टोटल 16 टीम्स को स्लॉट मिलेगा ग्रैंड फाइनल्स में खेलने का। ग्रैंड फाइनल्स 2 दिन तक चलने वाला है, जिसपे कि 10 मैचेस खेले जाएंगे। आफ्टर 10 मैचेस जो भी टीम हमें लीडर बोर्ड पे सबसे ऊपर दिखाई देगी वो टीम जीत के जाएगी चैंपियनशिप का खिताब। चलिए बात करते हैं मल्टीप्लेयर चैलेंज की। इसमें भी 2 क्वालिफायर खेले जाएंगे, वेयर ईच क्वालिफायर इज लिमिटेड टू 256 टीम्स, वेयर टीम विल प्ले सर्च एंड डिस्ट्रॉय मोड, हार्ड पॉइंट मोड इन अ सिंगल एलिमिनेशन बेस्ट ऑफ 3 फॉर्मेट। फाइनल्स 2 दिन का रहने वाला है, जहां पे 8 टीम हमें खेलती हुई नजर आएंगी बेस्ट ऑफ 3 डबल एलिमिनेशन फॉर्मेट में। एंड ग्रैंड फाइनल्स रहने वाला है बेस्ट ऑफ 5, जो डिटरमाइन करेगा हमारा चैंपियन कौन है। एंड हियर इज द प्राइस फुल ब्रेकडाउन। फर्स्ट पोजीशन को मिल रहा है 6 लाख और साथ ही साथ दिए जाएंगे 3,70,000 से भी ज्यादा सीपी एज रिवॉर्ड्स टू द टॉप परफॉर्मिंग टीम। टूर्नामेंट का रजिस्ट्रेशन शुरू होगा 7 मई से फॉर सीजन 1 फॉर बोथ ऑफ द मोड। टू फाइंड आउट more information, you can log on to codm.nordwingaming.com. Also don't forget to follow Nordwin Gaming on their socials to stay up to date with the tournament detail. तो अभी जाइए और रजिस्टर करिए. I'll see you on the other side.
What is up, ladies and gentlemen? And as I promised you guys earlier, I have someone very special joining me for interview this time. It is going to be Abyss from Revenant Esports. I mean, he represents their Call of Duty Mobile lineup. So, Abyss, welcome to the show. How are you doing?
I'm doing great, bro. Thank you so much for having me. And how are you?
And I'm doing pretty good as well, Abyss. Thank you so much for asking. And it's a pleasure to have you on the show. I mean, recently I saw you perform on the Call of Duty Mobile India Challenge that happened. Not challenge, like the invitational that happened. Your team was playing. So, how was the experience of the tournament for you guys?
It was very fun because it's been a while since the community has had a tournament of that scale to begin with. So it was a breath of fresh air, if I might say, and it was definitely very fun.
I mean, I'm glad you guys enjoyed it, but now time to dive into the sort of actual interview that I have. So as you guys know, Abyss, I mean, he's going to find this out right now. Our entire thing is just learning about the players and why they got into esports. So, Abyss, what made you jump into esports? What made you realize, like, hey, I can go be a professional esports athlete?
So it wasn't something that I actually initially planned off, because I don't really think becoming a professional gamer is something that someone really considers in our country. It has always been a dream of everyone that plays games, but it's never something that they actually consider. So I guess it just happened. I started playing the game because I was bored at home. I had nothing much to do. We had exams coming up, and since it was a mobile title, it was easy to just play anywhere. When you're studying, you keep your book aside and just start playing for like 5-10 minutes. So what started out like that, I made a few friends. We made like a clan, a team, and then we played on. And then like suddenly, the competition aspect started kicking in, where the bigger players that were more well known in the community, where the respect that they received was something that something I wanted for myself. So we started scrimming, we started playing, and slowly but surely we started building a name for ourselves and for myself as a player. And it got to a point where I just became good enough to be recognized as one of the better players from our country.
I mean, it's sort of been a sort of a key point in every athlete story, as you mentioned. Like, no one really thinks being a professional gamer is a career option. I mean, it just feels like a dream that's never going to come true. But then you sort of reach a point wherein just things fall in the right place. The puzzle just falls comes together, and you see the picture in front of you. But like going back to the early days and the early games that you played, what would be the few titles that you played during your childhood that made you got you hooked into video games?
So I've always been much of a gamer, because like ever since I was young, I kind of like lived far away from my friends' place. So we couldn't like group up at like a ground and play cricket or football. It happened very rarely.
Yeah.
So the only thing I had for myself is my computer. So that started off, and initially I started off playing Need for Speed Most Wanted. I guess that was one of the earliest games I had played.
Yeah.
So that began my love for games and like racing games. So that slowly like evolved into shooters. And the first game that I actually like grinded out was Overwatch, which is another Activision Blizzard title, back in 2016. So I played that game till like all the way up to like 2020, till basically COD Mobile launched. And I was primarily a console gamer after my shift from racing games. So since console isn't really that big of a thing in India, I saw how COD Mobile was doing very well. And obviously Call of Duty is a very well-known franchise.
Yeah.
So of course I was going to try its like newest and latest installment. And it was fun. And yeah, that is how like I started playing CODM. But otherwise, my overall like experience in the gaming world has been in Overwatch and probably like Rainbow Six Siege.
I mean, so apart from Overwatch and R6, did you play other Call of Duty titles on console as well? Maybe like Black Ops or World at War, something like that?
So before Call of Duty Mobile, I had played a very small amount of COD.
Yeah.
I had played only like 2 titles. One was the campaign of Advanced Warfare, and one was like, I'd say 15-20 hours of Black Ops 4. Although I was always very fascinated by Black Ops 3 and like the movement system in it, where you could wall run and stuff, I never got the chance to actually play it. So Black Ops 4 was my first Black Ops game that I played, and Advanced Warfare was the first COD game that I played.
Well, I mean, Call of Duty's history is pretty massive. There are like numerous titles present. Like, I think that you guys can definitely enjoy for yourselves. I mean, it is an amazing game. But now let's talk about the competitive scene of Call of Duty Mobile in India, which I mean it's there, then it's not there, now it's back again. So what are your thoughts on that?
Just like you said, it's there, it's not there, and it's back now. So it mainly comes down to the amount of tournaments that are being held, because the competitive scene has always been, I'd say, dormant.
Yeah.
In the sense, it's waiting to explode. But like all the teams have been scrimming, but there's really not much of a point, because the only tournament that has been there that is like recognizable has been the World Cup.
Yeah.
So overall, having just one tournament throughout the year to practice for isn't very motivating. So usually around like this time, the community is kind of active because of the World Championship. Otherwise, it's just like very slow is like it's the word I'd use. But then now, thanks to the India Challenge being announced, there has been like a new spark in the community. There's signs of life, and like everyone who had like quit the game or has taken a break is coming back, and those who already been like grinding for all this time have been even more motivated to put in all their blood.
I mean, that was the reason for the Call of Duty Mobile India Challenge, as you said. I mean, to bring the community back together, the players. I mean, we realized like we're waiting for an opportunity to sort of prove themselves, and also to monetarily justify the time investment that they have sort of made to the game. I mean, if you spend 2 years just grinding it out with no returns, it becomes hard to feel motivated. So now I want to know from you, because Call of Duty Mobile, even though it's a small community, it's very tight knit. Like the players are very close together, like with each other. And how do you guys keep each other motivated when the tournaments are not happening and there's a downtime between one World Championship and the next one?
I guess the motivation comes from the sense of competition, because you always want to be better than the other team, right? Yeah. So when you see that the other team is taking a break because the tournaments are done, that is when you feel like, you can get an edge over them, you can grind it out. So that desire to always get better and have a upper hand over them the next time there is a tournament really keeps the top teams at least going forward. Whereas the other teams, they always want a chance to like prove themselves. Right? So I guess that keeps them motivated, because the more they grind, one day they will like get recognized, and that is the moment they're waiting for, and that itself is somewhat enough to keep everyone going.
तो आज के लिए बस इतना ही। मैं आप लोगों से फिर मिलूंगा हमारे अगले एपिसोड में। अगर आप लोगों ने अभी तक सब्सक्राइब नहीं किया है, सब्सक्राइब टू नॉर्डन गेमिंग यूट्यूब चैनल, हिट द बेल आइकॉन एंड डू लाइक एंड शेयर दिस वीडियो एज वेल। अंटिल नेक्स्ट टाइम, टेक केयर, बाय बाय।